So we're here at the gathering, Quincy, Mass. Got here just in time, I think. Here's the circle. Oh, cool. We got reserved seats. Oh.
Today is a very special day for many reasons. We have a POW flag here today to honor those who were prisoners of war and those who are still missing in action. What better segue to a very special guest that we have here today. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask you to please rise. State Police Sergeant Dan Clark will begin us with a very special presentation of the national anthem. Sergeant Dan Clark, was a sergeant for the state police as well as for the U.S. Marines. He has sung the national anthem with the Boston Pops, the Red Sox, the Celtics, the Patriots, the Bruins, and the Marines in Washington, D.C. So, Dan, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I begin my presentation, I respectfully request that we have a moment of silence for those men and women who are POWs and who have never returned to this great nation. I walked across a county courthouse square. On a park bench, I saw an old man and he was sitting there. I said, "Your courthouse, it's kind of run down." He said, "Nah, it'll do for our little town." I said, "Your flagpole, it's lean a little bit." "And that's a ragged old flag you got hanging on it." He said, "Have a seat." And I sat down. He said, "Is this the first time you've been to our little town?" I said, "I think it is." He said, "Well, we don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud of that ragged old flag. You see, we got a hole in that flag over there when Washington took it across the Delaware. And you know she got powder burned the night that Francis Scott Key sat watching her writing, 'Oh, say, can you see?' She got a big rip in New Orleans with Pakenham and Jackson tugging at her seams. And she almost fell at the Alamo beside that Texas flag, but they waved on no. She got cut with a sword at Chancellorsville, and she got cut again at Shiloh Hill. There was Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, and Bragg. And that south wind, she blew hard on a ragged old flag. On Flanders Field in World War I, she got a big hole from a Bertha gun. She turned blood red in World War II, and she hung lib and low a time or two. She was in Korea, Vietnam, and now Afghanistan. She went where she was sent by her Uncle Sam. She waved on our ships upon the briny foam, and now you know, they've almost done quit waving back here at home. In her own good land here, she has been abused. She's been burned, dishonored, denied, and refused. and the government for which she stands is sometimes scandalized throughout the land. She's been getting threadbare, and she's wearing thin. But she's in good shape for the shape she's in, because she's been through the fire before, and I believe that she can take a whole lot more. So we raise her up every morning, and we lower her down slow every night. We don't let her touch the ground till we fold her up just right. You know, on second thought, I do like to brag, because I know we're all mighty proud of our ragged old flag. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the United States of America, our Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, was so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
If I could ask you to remain standing, please. We're going to have Senator Keenan lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And had I known that was going to be like that, I would have never had him go before me. There's nothing I can do with that. Thank you.
Good morning. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So as far as you can hear, it takes a great deal of people and effort to complete a project like this. One thing I have learned is Quincy is a very, very strong community. It has a great deal of people with a ton of passion and a ton of commitment to do good. A community that's, when called upon, they step up and they get it done. We're very fortunate today to have some family members, original family members from the Shedd family here to celebrate this occasion with us. We have Jerome and Lindy Shedd, Dan Wheeler and his wife Jean, Janice Riccardi Bonacorso, Judy Hoffman, Barbara and Arthur Roberts. And we'll be hearing from one of them who actually traveled from Missouri to be here today for this dedication. Daniel Shedd was born in England around 1620. He was one of the earliest settlers in what was known as Braintree, along with the famous settlers Adams, Quincy, Barrett, and Spalding. As it is reported in history, Daniel Shedd came to Braintree as a young bachelor with little means. He got married in 1946, and he leased this land, 120 acres, from Reverend William Thompson, later to be known as Shedd's Neck. He lived here for another 12 years, and it is believed that until the expiration of the lease in 1658, and some say his house actually burned, he eventually left here and moved on to Billerica, where land was cheaper at the time. In 1916, the Shedd family erected the Daniel Shedd Memorial in the form of a lighthouse. The lighthouse consisted of 20 feet of Quincy granite from Quincy quarries, a memorial to Daniel Shedd, an original settler and a resident here in Old Braintree, 1642 to 1658. His descendants to the 10th generation erect this shaft to commemorate his life. They dedicate it to the city of Quincy and as a beacon to Sailors Snug Harbor, which for 60 years has occupied the land once filled by their ancestor, for whom it was the first century called Shedd's Neck, a name that is hoped to be and may be restored. So at this time, I would like to call up Mayor Thomas Koch to say a few words.
That is the interloper.
Janice, did I send you the pictures from?
No, in fact,
There's just two.
I wanted to talk to you about that reunion because I was so sad to miss it. This is a Shed reunion.
3 or 4 brothers, and they had the salt marshes, which they did. They made money on. They had all of this. One of the girls that I was sitting with, her mother. This year, the boardwalk, working with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Leo, myself, and quite a few others, put this boardwalk in about, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And to take, because there was a problem with having stuff. So that's why we're able to do it. Now, those houses over there, the next row of houses, that's where I live. That's house next. So you can physically, on low tide, walk around. It's tough, but you can do it. There used to be a radio station. It's in that house right there by the water. But this is this goes all the way around, and there's a Rock Island cove there, but you can walk it if you go. It'll take you a while, but you could do it, especially on low tide. And like I said, we used to the Boston Harbor.